Welcome to Keeper of Secrets Tarot. I am Gypsy Girl, here to bring you another monthly reading for Cancer for January 2024. I thank you, Spirit, for protecting and keeping the collective safe, for protecting me and keeping me safe. Oh, I thank you for showing up, for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares. What are the important messages for Cancer for this January 2024? We are coming into the full moon, Cancer. Seems that we're going to have a wild time. Most of us anyway. Some of us are shying away and keeping to ourselves and keeping away from people. I was cleaning the deck and that Nine of Wands just stood out and said there's no trust, or there's a healing that needs to take place. Again, there's that enthusiasm. See, the wild ride for the 24th may turn to the 25th if it's not today. That full moon is in Leo. That is that king, could be going up to king. We have a betrayal, we have the truth, we have lies, deceit, truth coming out, transparency, enthusiasm, that passion, that needing to go off and be free and have that sense of I want to do something new and fresh. But that can only happen once the betrayal is brought to light. And we see here that the Six of Coins is bringing in that balance for the truth that needs to come out. And again, that passion, that fresh start, wanting to move on. Being transparent. More truth. Ooh, looks like it could be a bit of aggression going on here. Well, first, it's passive, it's quiet, it's healing, it's working things out. Again, Cancer, that's where you come in, not wanting to feel at home, wanting to have that conversation that is looking at strategy here. So we're secrets, we're hiding it, we're holding it back, we're in that mode of being hidden or confused by this passive strategy. It could be that. Oh, and there we have the Queen of Wands. So Queen of Wands is either confused or is confusing conversation or wanting to heal conversation, looking for a strategy to heal. Again, there's very, very passionate here. Conversation wants to be passionate. So we're looking at healing, passion. According to that Nine of Wands there. And then we have, well, you didn't see the Nine of Wands. That Nine of Wands was just jumping out when I was shuffling the deck prior to coming here to you now. Betrayal. That truth, this last stand here is what will bring in the reciprocity, bring in that balance, bring in that sense of freedom, bring in that ability to move on and heal. There's a lot of healing going on here. And deliberation of the truth, debating, this being on the fence, kinda. I don't know if I should talk. What am I going to say? It's going to be the truth. But see, there's that discerning quality. Again, that confusion in choice. What do I do? Where do I go? Which way to go? It is a portal to open up and have that freedom. It is a sense of being free, that openness, or wanting to be open. Because it is being construed by the moon, it's hidden. But in that aspect too, it just could mean that the moon, the full moon will bring in that conversation. And then if not the full moon coming up now, it would be the next moon or the new moon coming in. And that's going to be in Virgo, I think. I think that's the next full moon. I'm not sure right now, but it would be a healing. It would be a healing moon, because that's what needs to take place. A lot of endings are showing up with all the other signs. So I won't be surprised if we don't see the same thing here. And I say that, and we have the tower coming down on this wily prince. So things are changing, definitely changing. Again, it's taking on a direction. The deck split to the King of Cups. So we have very romantic, very controlling, or very directive, walking away. So romance is taking its time, moving on. Could be the ego here is being brought down. And there's again that new beginning. I want to do something new. I want to move on. There's a lot of change taking place here, Cancer. You're going through that wheel. It's your time is up, or your time is here. Again, for the passion, it just keeps showing up. This passion could be you've come to realize what it is you want, and you want to go for it. You want to make change. You want to see something different. You want to be in a place that is different. That tower coming down brings everything into perspective, and it changes everything at the same time. All right, let's see where we can go with all that. There's a lot of messages. So we have the first line, as you know, is the viewer. And I keep having a bit of trouble. Last couple of reads there. The first line starts off really well. You know that's about you, the viewer. But then when I get down to the second and third, the angle is always off. And I think it's because of how I arrange my chair. Because I fix it and then I put it out of view when I sit. You know that the second line is, if it's not you, the viewer, it is the counterpart. If it is not you, Cancer. And then the third line is the outcome of this read. All right, let's move my chair this way, because you have a good view. So the bottom of the deck split again to the Six of Pentacles. So we have at the bottom of the deck this passion, the Knave of Wands. It's a message from a queen, or a message to a queen, or just that desire to move forward. It's overly so, because she is determined, and within her own right she is determined, and she is very passionate, as queens go. Maybe dealing with a fire sign. And we have the Wheel of Fortune for our romantic king. So we have that fire and water, which is pretty difficult when you make a mix with fire and water. If you don't do it in the right way, with the right timing, one can squelch the other. Either very steamy. You see, this is what is wanted here. It is, at least the overall, is to find the balance between the fire and the water. So have that very steamy, passionate encounter. And that seems to be what will bring in the balance for some. Told you, this full moon coming up is wild and wily. Yeah? Then we have another split here, because there's some cards I'm not going to open. I just want to see how the deck flows. We have that intuition of a proposal. See, that's that wanting to have one, and that higher understanding coupled with that determination and that intuition for a proposal is going to change. Again, there's a lot of change coming, and the balance will come back in for a romantic king who is taking his time with a very passionate queen to have something new and something more profound, because this is the potential of a very passionate relationship. And then we have the Six of Pentacles that's showing itself with the ego here. So it is again to pay out, or to have that reciprocity for an ego. Ooh, we got a lot of lessons going on in this read. Cancer, what is going on? Going through that change. It's tumultuous because there's a lot of trauma and drama involved here. Starting off with the Eight of Pentacles, it's a lot of work on disappointment. See, working on disappointment. So something went awry coming up till now, and that could be within years or months or weeks even, where there's a disappointment that needs to be looked into, and there's details of that disappointment is being worked on. And then of course that disappointment brings in that change, because when we are going through ordeals, like I said, very traumatic, for disappointment to come and wanting to go off on your own, or having had enough experience with disappointments, the decision is to move on and go off and find that 10th pentacle, which is what is going on here. Very slowly here we are having a 10 of pentacles coming in. So it's a question of, I'm working on overcoming the disappointments and moving on to find what it is I really want. This is the mentality that you have, Cancer. Or you're thinking of having that disappointment brings in that solitary sense where I want to be alone because of all the disappointments that have affected me. I'm working on myself, and I'm going to take my time and stay away from relationship. You want to work on yourself. You want to stay away, be alone, and take your time before you come into another relationship. And that's fine, because this is you taking care of yourself. And then there's the next person involved with you, because of course there is a healing, a taking into account what actually took place. And then there's that healing and making new plans because of what took place, and then having a new perspective. So the next person is taking on a whole new position in the situation concerning truth, because there is a victory here in recognizing that healing needs to take place. This is a major arcana. This is Spirit coming in to say, well, you're going to take your time with this. Again, time factor here. Time factor. This is a slow process, and this is a slow process. And even this is not a moving fast. This is coming in, working it out, having done the work, having done work prior to, or all the work that was done turned into disappointment. You see? All the work that has been, that you've done, you've come to realize that it's going nowhere. It's not happening. You're disappointed in what you've done or what was done, who you were working with, people that you were working with. Here comes into stalemate, and there's anxiety involved here. Lots of anxiety is what the result is going to be because of the stalemate, because of this positioning that you may have to take as to recognizing what the disappointment is, and then getting that, healing them. Again, it's this the shuffle started off with the Nine of Wands for healing, and then we have a healing card here. And we see the disappointment that needs to be healed. Cancer, you're going to work through it though, because here you see we will take cards though, because this can go either way. We have this Eight of Pentacles and we have the Seven of Pentacles. We see the disappointment in the work that was done. And then we see here that patience will bring in fruition. And of course, this Ace of Swords here shows that there is going to be a revelation of truth, a victory, so that what may seem to be going out or stalemated here is only for a time. There is patience, because there will be fruition. There will be something coming from the efforts that you have put in. It is a question of changing your positioning, your perspective, seeing the glass half full rather than half empty. It will take time though, because we see the time factor here, and plans will change. You will see that you can make a difference, and something different, making changes, will come from this conversation here to heal this disappointment. It will make a change in the plans, or the fact is that the plan is to heal the disappointment and then change the plans to bring in happiness, bring in that abundance, bring in that what we call comfort at home, because that's what the goal is to have a happy home life, to have that happiness come in abundance. And then we see the anxiety. Of course, we will take this, we'll take cards for this here. But then I'm looking at it to see further messages. It could be for where you work. You're disappointed where you work and you want to move on and do your own thing, make your own company, or change the company rather to make more money, because this is where we see this side of the reading, where with time, the truth and happiness and that abundance, that double time abundance will come in for you, because changing your perspective and changing the plans will bring in that move to another job or another company. We don't want to jump. We want to think it through, and having that conversation here will bring out the truth, and it will bring that understanding of, okay, so this will bring me to where I really want to go. Again, we are at the beginning of the year, the calendar year anyway, where we see that endings are still taking place, because it could just mean that the anxiety here increasing, the anxiety has increased because the work has been a disappointment to begin with, and then we're coming into the truth coming out to bring in more anxiety. So we have a Ten of Swords here. You see, we have 3 tens. We have 2 broken tens and 1 full 10 sitting here. We have this 10 of Pentacles that's broken to show that the disappointment is still the disappointment is the start, where you've recognized the disappointment and you need to move on. That's the first one. So you're going to end up with this job. You're going to change your job, if that is what you want to do, because it says here from the 8 going here to the Knight, he's moving on. He's moving away from this disappointment and taking everything and experiences and whatever he has left in him. He wants to take it on and go further and rebuild, if it is with a new experience altogether or with someone else. And it doesn't show, well, we'll see as the cards go if there is to be a reconciliation, because right now it looks like it's all about work, with this 10 of Pentacles coming down here, this 8 of Pentacles showing here. But the disappointment in where we work, well, that could be for anything, the actual work in itself, where the company may not be doing very well and you want to change, or it is personal communication, because we have this Ace of Swords indicating that there is a conversation, and the talk, whatever the conversation will be, will make a change. Now, the anxiety here is the worry about finance at some point, whether it is actual money or what you consider to be abundance in your life, where it could be people, family members, relationships in itself, who you're relating to, how you're relating, the truth about, the communication between you and the next person, because it is the swords. We have the 4 swords here, wherein we need to heal. We need to come back to, there is a conversation that needs to be had, but it needs to be taken on a different level altogether, which brings in more anxiety as the flow goes, where the perspective is changed according to the truth. There will be anxiety. Somebody is worried about the change in happiness, the change in the truth, or the change will bring in the truth and then end something, either end the relationship or end the job, going off to a different place, or to bring in more abundance. So we have different avenues to explore here. I mean, take it as it resonates. If you're looking at work, if you're looking at a personal relationship, if you're looking at your own self changing, the way you see life, the way you see relationships, whether it be at work or with personal connections. All right, let's see. Again, it's all about relationships, coming to fruition, ending and closing off cycles. Going off again, the deck is splitting here to show the end of a cycle is what this will probably bring. We have the Justice card showing, so that's probably where this 9 of Swords comes in, with our Hangman here seeing a different perspective, being stopped in your tracks, or someone else is stopped in their tracks because of truth. And now patience is doubly needed here. This person here is very patient because they're seeing a different perspective, or they're taking on a different perspective according to a conversation that is to be had. Again, we're looking for healing. That 9 of Wands started off the whole process. We're changing and ending a cycle. We're looking for the passion, or we are going to turn out to be more passionate here at the end. Or we're going to look for that passion because she's determined. This again is an 11, so it's a doorway opening up to have that. Okay, so let's start taking cards and see where this goes. That 8 of Pentacles. Ooh, oh boy. So there is a reconciliation. Okay, so all right. I don't know what to do here. When the deck splits up like that, it's a little confusing. So we'll look at this as the overall. And we'll take cards from here because it is a reconciliation, but it's a strategy. Again, working out the details for a strategy to reconcile, for love. Again, another 10. You see this? Oh boy, all the 10s are here now. So we have the 10 of Swords, the 10 of Pentacles, sorry, the 10 of Wands. So the truth is a burden that needs to be put down. There's so much truth coming out here that it's going to be heavy because of this love, that reconciliation, wanting to reconcile a love. And the betrayals and the burden of the betrayals comes into transparency, and it is divinely guided to start afresh. Oh my goodness. And have another ending here with a commitment. So ending a commitment. Or ending in a commitment. Again, the passion. And then we come up here. Okay, so you know what? We'll just take all these cards because it ends on the 7 here. So, and then the 4. Oh, and then the moon. All right, we'll take it up to the moon. And that's the reading right there. Okay, let's see what we got going on. A lot of details. And this is why we have so many cards. The details. What is all the details that we're working on, Cancer? What it is that you're looking into? That you need to have all of this work. There's a lot of work here. Betrayals and healing the betrayals and strategy for healing. to be confused, to be hidden, to come out by the moon, to want to have, again, this moon can be this full moon coming up, it could be the next new moon, it could be the next full moon, because the healing moon, I think it is the next full moon. Next full moon, I think, will be in Virgo, but don't quote me on that. You could look into that and see. It's just that I see with all this healing, with that Nine of Wands showing itself the way it did, it brings in that. It brings in that healing. For a commitment, for marriage, for passion. You see it, to take the steps, to have that wanting to take the steps, that commitment to move forward and go through with the strategy for healing a conversation. It's having that gumption to go forward. The desire, the passion, it is there, it is within. And again, what's pushing it is that love to reconcile for love. If we took no other cards, just these two, it would mean that the details is all about that, working out to get over this disappointment. You see, the reconciliation of love is what needs to be worked on in order to overcome this disappointment, to end the betrayals, because there's been betrayals in, like I said, it is in love, it is in work, it is in what you love to do. Being betrayed in where you work, being betrayed with who you love, or being betrayed by who you love, because this is heavy, and the double tens here, there is no more. It is ending. The truth about the love is a lie, and that lie, all the lies accumulated, is now being told as truth, because this is the truth, it was all a lie, and we want to put the burden down. So it's an ending. I don't want this anymore. I don't want this love anymore. This love can never be reconciled. And that is for some, But you see, I had to take more cards because there's other stories aligned here. So we have the truth, the transparency, seeing through the lies is divinely guided. That is why there is no more. And this, whatever that disappointing relationship is, it's gone now. You are moving on. You have to accept that. And if it is that you are the one that's decided, I don't want this anymore. I want a new beginning. I want to move on. And that is what you need to do, because it is all potential, because you want to have that stable connection, that stability in love. You want that. What you had was too much drama, too much trauma, too much of telling lies, and too much of confusion in itself. You want that commitment. You have that experience and the know-how. You know what it is to be in a good relationship, because that's what you are looking for. You're going to get it though, because you're taking the steps to move forward, making up a new strategy to heal the confusion. So for some of you, it is a decision that you've made where you've, no more, I'm done, I'm moving on. For others of you, it is to heal. It is to heal and reconcile, because you want it and you're not going to stop. Again, that 8 of Wands, it goes either way. And again, it's not just 2 people here. There's a lot of you. Even if it's 10 people listening to this clip, you're 10 different versions of this 8 of Wands right here, because the determination to have and be in a solid relationship for love, you are making up your mind that that is what you want. You're making the plans, and you're going to have that conversation, or at least you're going to try to have that conversation, because here is that step forward to reach out to the person and have that communication. And you want to do it either by the full moon or within the next moon phases. I mean, it could be another month from now where you will have the communication. Right now you're planning it. You're working it out. That's what this 8 of Pentacles is all about. You're working out how to come across. And you're taking it slowly. For those of you who want to reconcile. And for those of you who just want a completely new relationship, well, you're taking your time there too. Let's see what this Hangman represents. Again, 3 of Pentacles. So we're really doing the work here. Hard work, very hard work. Another 7, 4 and 3. So we have the 7 of Pentacles, investing, looking into new ways of investing, looking into new ways of making what you want come to reality. You're focused, or someone else is, depending on where you place yourself in this line. There is a victory here. The focus is on getting the attention. I want to be known. I want to be recognized. And that is probably what was put into stalemate, because it's all building up to why this card is here. This ego of the king for marriage has been put into the cold, or put out into the cold, because of the wily ways, and needs to bring down the tower on the ego. Moving on, looking for forgiveness, again with the healing, changing a direction. But we just stop on the healing. So we see here, we have the Hangman. Again, more work. There's lots of work going on here. But this is what was going on. We had this being recognized and then holding back, or the work that was done again in the past, something that you had been working on. And it is teamwork, working together, holding off, holding back, working in secret, because this is what has been stopped. Working in secret with another person, or with as a partnership, working together, but it is hidden. It is hidden. Whatever it is not being put forward. Whatever work you were doing, or whatever work the next person is doing with you, or with others. I mean, this is you looking into this, and wherever you place yourself, you decide if you are the one that's doing the work with another person. But it is being hidden. It is not being brought out. See, that is where the focus is on holding back on what was done, or holding back on work that you are doing. It's to be hidden. That's where your focus is. You don't want it to be known. Can't let it come out. So you're holding back, or you're hiding, or they are. Somebody is hiding something. And it is all to do with work, whatever kind of work. Because there is an investment there. It's broken 7. So it's either coming into stalemate or coming into fruition. But the focus is on having that victory for a king, or with a king. It is about his ego, because his ego is attached to a relationship that is now not, it's showing up as being missing out on fun. So this king may be married. That is why it is hidden. Whatever it is going on, that connection, working together is with a married man. And he now, his ego is what has put his marriage on ice. There's a cold feeling. Again, it comes into a 9, so it's ending up a cycle or accumulation. And that marriage, married to the ego, committed to the ego. So this is why it's hidden, because the commitment in itself is towards this playful attitude, just to have fun. But then that is where the tower will come down on this ego. And the next person is going to move on. Oh boy. Or looking for more, really. Not just moving on, but taking on that. See, when the tower comes down on this player attitude, because that's what it is. wanting to be in a commitment or being in a commitment, regardless if you're married, as in the technicality of the word married, or if you're just in a relationship that you've been together for a while and you are committed, it is not enough for this. You see, the commitment in itself is just for fun. It's not a serious relationship, and that is what is going to come down. This king is committed. Self-realization, that understanding of, that higher understanding of the self, recognizing. See, that's what's going on here. All this secrecy and hiding to play, that is what is being recognized as it's not enough. Not getting satisfaction. Not getting enough. Even with a marriage here, that wanting to play is going to be destroyed. You see, that playful attitude, it's almost like you can't have both. You can't be serious in a marriage and then be playful on the side. I mean, you're gonna go crazy. It's either you playing with everybody involved, or you're serious with everybody involved. To have both is I mean, anything is possible, but how long will it last? Because you see, that in itself is coming down. Missing out on a marriage to have a playful life is coming down. The king in himself is going to change his attitude because of that and become more, because he wants to be more. He's looking for a commitment, wanting to understand and heal whatever it is that is being hidden here, is what is being put aside or put down, so that with time, see that patience here is where this tower will come down. Because that's what's bringing in this stalemate. Once it's recognized that this life, this secret life here, secrecy, once that is recognized, that it's not really what the king wants, you see, because this kind of king, this King of Wands here, he is, of all of the kings, he's the one that is really connected to relationship. He is the passionate one of all the kings, not taking anything away from the other three, but he doesn't get into a marriage, or he gets into a marriage. He can't have both because of his DNA is just set up that way, that he's passionate within his marriage, or he's passionate on his own. But he has to choose one at a time. Like, he can have his marriage, and then that goes into however it trails out, whether it's a happy marriage or not. And if he gets into marriage and he's not happy, well, he's gonna go back to being a player easily. He'll squash the marriage and go off and be, okay, I'm gonna be a player. But this is the opposite, you see. The missing out on the marriage is what he is thinking. And now, having that playful life, he wants to change, become serious about his marriage. So he's off looking for a real commitment to heal. And this is probably why you are anxious, because that is what's bringing in the anxiety here. That your king is going to leave because of whatever betrayals in the marriage took place. Conversation here. Let's see what is this temperance represent here. Okay, standing up and taking back what was taken. Again, it's the Six of Swords. So it is to have peace, because this is the healing. the stalemate, changing up of the position and perspective is everything to say, well, you know what, the truth is coming out and this is the truth. I want something different because they're taken back. And the focus is on the Queen of Pentacles for a fresh new start, having that conversation and talking about all the truth, standing in integrity, ending the cycle. So this king is moving on. This is what this king is going to do. You're going to go your separate ways for some of you. Others of you will make up. Because that's what this king wants to do. And who is really up to you at this point, Cancer, because you know who you are. This woman is really this match. This is the king here. See, he wants to reconcile with the queen. And he's not going to stop until he gets to speak his truth, focus, work with this queen for a fresh start. Have very passionate and creative conversations about the truth and standing in integrity. Brings the cycle to a close. And then the healing. See, again, with patience, all of that will come. This is the fruition here to bring it in. We're going to take cards for that too. But I want to come down here because it just shows that this is what the stalemate is brought to because of what took place up here. The next person is moving on, looking for the commitment. Again, moving on, looking for the commitment. You're both either discussing that you're separated now, you want to finish up and you want to both move on because you're very parallel. You're walking on the same path. You're both leaving the situation, ending up a cycle, moving on, taking your time, both ways. To either come back and have that relationship heal and continue because you've both invested. That's the plan, is to move on or to take time out and heal and then come back to each other. Let's see what is this Nine of Swords representing, because there is a lot of anxiety here for the truth. Somebody is very worried that probably it won't work out, that they won't be accepted. Either you or the next person is thinking, well, they won't take me back. Even if we say we're going off and we will come back together, it may not happen. For somebody here is not truly trusting. Again with that Nine of Wands. It's either not trusting or it's healing. So Nine of Swords, again, for a new beginning. Having a second chance. Changing the direction. Holding back. That reciprocity. That is where the worry comes in. Satisfaction and the Nine of Pentacles. Sorry, the Nine of Wands. Okay, we're not taking in the cards. It's quite a bit of cards here, but we will take cards on these two. What is this worry about? Well, here it is. That self-love, understanding, being open to love for a second chance, so that changing the direction and holding back. So somebody is worried that it will start off with opening up for a new beginning, having that second chance, and then things are just going to change on me. Could be where that addiction comes in, because somebody is overly into self-satisfaction. It's a drinking problem for some because it is the cups, but it could be any addiction. More so than the ego is involved, because they think that they can and then they will be able to do this, that they will pretend. It's a pretense. This is where the not trusting comes in. Not trusting that satisfaction will actually come because of the addiction here. Holding on to that ego, not letting go of the ego. That is the addiction in some cases, but the ego in itself brings in that I need to have that one more. I want one more. I want one more. Not being able to satisfy the truth. See, the devil comes in to show up that ego and say, well, you know what? The truth is you are addicted and you don't want to accept that truth. They don't want to accept it. That this, whatever it is that you are addicted to, that hold, the truth is what you don't want to accept. The truth is what is blocking this ego from healing. It's going to be very, very difficult. Very difficult, because wanting to have that second chance is the change. But then holding back from being fair, you see? It's saying one thing and then doing something else is what this is all about. We're talking, we're having the conversation. This is why it's broken up, and it's very, very difficult to bring that end. It's like, no, I'm saying I'm going to end, but I'm not going to end. And it is what is making you and the next person separate. That truth, that 10-1, you see that 10 sword is right here. 10 of swords, that truth, that it's going to be betrayed. The ego is going to betray that commitment. And that is the sad news I have to bring out here today. But there will be healing for others of you. And in time, this too will heal, because you have to accept that truth. The question is, do you want to accept the truth that's standing in your face or not? It's right in your face. It's either you take it or you don't. Let's see what the 7 of Pentacles is all about. Another 7 again, the confusion. So with love and a commitment. Following in the intuition. For marriage. See, for marriage right here. Again, some of you are going to understand, open up to that knowledge, committed here, that I want to have that relationship. See, like it's a 2 of Cups here. Again, it's another 9 when you put all this together, because it's all in the cups. But you see, she is open to have that love, and there is a big protection here. Big protection. So it is the king who is going to move on. At least that's what he wants. He wants to have a real relationship. We saw that here, that healing here, this understanding of a commitment and moving on, thinking that, yeah, this is the best thing for me, because if I stick around, it's just going to be, yeah, we'll do it. We'll heal the disappointments between us, and then, well, we will just start all over again with the addictions. Oh, it is you that's saying that. I mean, put yourself where you see you fit. But the next person is really having this, opening up to understanding, opening up to love, really securing a relationship, wanting to, in fact. Because it is sending a cycle, it is the truth, it is the healing. The next person is moving on with a loving, or wanting to move on with a loving commitment that is divinely guided and protected, but very much so at the highest level. You see, this is a marriage here. This is a marriage. When you put all this together, this is a marriage coming to fruition. Because they want to be invested in a marriage. They really want, this is the next person. Well, if it's not you, I mean, you fix yourself where you are. If you're the cross watcher, then you want the marriage. And if you are Cancer up here wanting to move on because you've been disappointed, you are going to move on because you want to be invested in. Slowly you will find that next person and fall into marriage. Now both of you, again, it could be that you're both agreeing to move on and go your separate ways, and both of you will find what it is you really want. It seems to be that for some. For others, it's a question of coming back in and really reconciling. And then again, for some, it is coming back in to reconcile so you could have your addiction and hold on to that security of being able to be in overindulgence, then to be able to indulge in your addictions or their addictions, whomever they are, if it's not you, Cancer. So let's see, we'll just take one or two cards down here to end up. So the Two of Wands, again, holding back and that courage to move forward with plans, recognizing that, you know, you've had enough. It's enough. This addiction, this question of addiction here, they're not satisfied and want something different, and you're going to speak about it, and you're going to have that overcome. You're going to overcome. Speaking about the loss will bring in the change. Oh, using up all the cards here for you today, Cancer. Okay, let's see what the Ten of Pentacles here represents. See? Perfectly timed for a new beginning. This is a new beginning for a proposal to come and bring in the balance and have change. And that is in time. This is where the Wheel of Fortune comes in. So you're going to have a happy ending one way or another. When you look at this, if it is that you are getting away from the person who is trying to manipulate and come back in and say, okay, I want to be with you, and then, okay, we start up drinking again, or we start up with that manipulation again, we start up again with whatever was going wrong to begin with, that is going to change. Because Wheel of Fortune is going to turn. If you have earned, if you have done the work, again, this is all about working on the details. If you've done the work, then this is the outcome. That you will have a new beginning, that you will have that commitment, that you will have that proposal, and things will come back into balance and your life will change. You will have that sense of home and happiness. It is a happy ending in this sense, that you've gone through the work. See? You've gone through, you're doing the work to get through. You're making the right decisions so that you can have that happiness that you want. And one way or another, you will end up either with the person that a new person altogether that will bring you that happiness, and then others of you will go back to the person that you had the disappointment with, and you will go another round with them, because that is what all of this is about here. Going around again to get through, only to realize that you don't want to be with them, you want to be with someone else, because they are going to bring back that addiction. But you're going to follow your instincts. You're protected. You understand. Because of the experience, you understand what they've been through. And that they're only doing it because they are addicted to whatever it is. Whether it is the wily ways and playful life. Because this is a choice. Free will here for this king. Coming into understanding, wanting that this destiny to change, either holding back or opening up. Okay, that is where the destiny will change. If you hold back, well, things won't change, but they will. It's just going to be a little more difficult. And then it's going to come down to, well, I'll go ahead and play with my marriage until I'm caught again, and then that'll bring down the towers, and I'll have no choice but to move on and find a new relationship and heal. Because that's it's inevitable. Either they choose to give up that wily life, or they play out the steps, and time. Temperance. Time will end the cycle, and they will have to move on, and they will find someone new. Wow, this is like a really big lesson happening here. Let's take an oracle. Cancer, you are going through the steps and Saturn is, that devil is there making sure all the corners are carved out in a way because of the truth. You see, nothing is going to get past you, Cancer. Nothing is going to get past the person who follows their instincts. And those of you who are fitted in this situation here where you want to test the water to see if you can get away with whatever, you'll get away with it for a while if you are looking at this and knowing that you're into that. I want to play with my marriage, have fun on the side. You're going to find out the hard way. But you know you will, because it's just that way. You will find out the hard way. What is the oracle message for this reading? It's quite interesting because we see the plans for sabotaging a marriage, but that is someone who is not really invested. You see, they never had that satisfaction to begin with, and they just feel that if they just get into a marriage, it'll come naturally, and it doesn't because they're not invested. You see? I mean, she's determined, you know. She's determined to be. Let's see where. You see, look, she's in between a player and a king. And this lady here, she will follow her instincts and leave. She could be the third person, you know, and realizing that she's mixing up with a married man, and when she realizes that, she's going to take off. I mean, put it to your situation. Either way, somebody's stuck. Somebody is stuck. I don't know how this got to be the bottom of the deck because it wasn't this card. But it is now. It is now. There's no more deck. Thank you, Spirit. What is the oracle message for this? But somebody is going to be stuck. And the anxiety is just going to build and build and build until it can go no further, and everything, the tower will come down. See, you're poised, Cancer. Whatever position you are sitting in here, in this reading, you are poised to have that change come and move on. To have that marriage, if it is that you want one, to go off on your own and build your own legacy if you want to. You see, the doors are opening because you are doing all of the work. Whatever effort you are putting in is going to bring you change. In the end, it's going to bring change. This 13 is where everything in your life just transforms again and again and again till the cycle is done. And there are blessings here to be had, and peace is going to come. Mending. So it works out for everybody, and again, not for you. So it's all the scenarios playing out, like I said. Some of you are going to go away from each other, go on and have your own separate happiness in different relationships. Others of you are going to make peace, come back, and mend. Either way, the blessings are handed out. So let's see what poised is all about here. If we had 48, we were at 47. Let's see what was going on. 46, 47. Go the distance. So there was endurance and strength for the long haul. So really put in that effort in. You were into a relationship, and then something just shifted again with the wily ways. So now we reached poised, being ready, bringing something to light, being at your best, having the confidence right there to move on. We'll take the oracle message on that. You can be assured that you are ready for anything right now. You know what you need to. Your skills are sharp. You've come to this place armed with wisdom and knowledge. And you sense a new phase of your life about to begin. People respond to your confidence and trust you. This is an auspicious time to begin new things, which is exactly what you want. All right, so let's see I mean, I'm not going to rehash because I've done it a few times. Let's see what blessed is all about. And it's the 22. 22. Cancer, you are evolving, to have that blessing. Sorry about that, I had a little disturbance there, but where were we? Looking at the blessed. So we have something wonderful that is unearned and unexpected grace, that is an unforeseen gift from Spirit. We're going to look in a relationship with that one because of without knowing it, you're going to receive because of what you've done. Again, working on the details. You are moving toward a deepening of intimacy in a unique and sacred partnership. You know you are meant to make this connection. This union, blessed by the divine, will bring transformation and beauty to the world. This is also a sign that, even more important, you're being called to a deeper intimacy with yourself and Spirit. With this new development, you will see evidence of grace in your life. Again, with all of the changes, having that coming out of truth and really looking into what it is you want and working on fixing and healing, or working on yourself and wanting to give yourself more. That is where the blessings are going to come. With a marriage, with a relationship, or with work, if it is you want to change where you're working, have a new career, etc. On that note, Cancer, I thank you for showing up, for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares. Till our next read, love and light. Don't forget to hit the notification bell.